to Out of the Rough, the Association of Women Entrepreneurs edition. I'm Tara McHugh, and this is my co-host, Fred Arnold. We have another great guest. Are you excited?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So it's my friend Tamar House. She is of Troop Real Estate. She's also the broker-owner of All Valley Leasing. So today we're going to talk a little real estate. This is, I know, your topic.
I love real estate. Real estate is driving the economy right now.
Yes, it sure is.
Who would have thought, right?
Who would have thought?
It led us into the recession and it's leading us out.
Sure is.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show. You know, I want to know, how do you get your offer accepted? I just want to jump to the chase. It's tough to get an offer accepted nowadays.
It
Some
sure
tips.
is.
Let's talk about why is the agent so important?
There's 18, 19 offers on every house,
Wow.
every listing that's out there. Our inventory is super low, so you have to be very well connected in this community in order to get an offer accepted. You have to have a great loan officer. Just having that connection, though, is really what helps drive this market. And just for instance, my grandmother's house, we sold it to somebody in my networking group, and then her client liked me so much, she's letting me sell it to a VA buyer. So I mean, just knowing somebody in this market is key.
And the reason why is because there's so many offers. How do you distinguish one from the next? But if you're connected and the other agent knows you and the loan officer, it makes it certain that the deal's going to close.
So it's
Absolutely.
about, you know, that person's going to be a great person to work with.
It's having that team and having somebody like Fred, you know, writing that letter and calling the other agent and saying, hey, I'm working with one of Tamar's buyers and I've been doing business for how long and yada yada. And as soon as they know it's somebody reputable in the community, it's an easy sell.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
So how do you get your offer accepted in today's market?
Well, that's just it. You know, knowing the other person really and writing
Really,
a
that's
really
it?
good, strong offer. Most people want contingencies removed up front these days, which is another issue that we're facing. They want the appraisal contingency removed. They want you to buy their house for whatever price they list it for. But, you know, it's just about how you deal with the offer.
You know, and
how
there's ways around that. I've seen where a 7 or 8 day appraisal contingency is sometimes reasonable. Or one I love to send some of the financials to the seller so the seller can see the person's qualified. You can still white out or cross out Social Security numbers, but present yourself.
Right.
How many times do you get an offer where you see that the buyer's writing a letter on why they want to buy the house?
Right. I actually send letters with my buyer's picture on it, a little letter from them to the seller, letting them know about their family and why they want to live in that particular home. And I send, you know, copies of their bank statements, whiting out the numbers. And that, more than anything, helps them see, okay, these people have money and they've got great kids and a cute little dog. So, you know, it's
The neighbors
just
are going to
a
love
little-
them.
Exactly.
They're not
And-
going to be upset for us for leaving.
And it's an emotional decision for most sellers on who they pick to live in their home. They might take an offer that's $5,000 less, but it's a great family
Yeah, it's
that
a
they
great
connected
family.
with.
So this is all a whole new market then. I mean,
It's
like
completely
different game you're
it's
playing.
changed completely within the last year. I mean, prices have gone up. We've got equity now, so
Isn't that
we've got
great, finally?
it's amazing.
Yeah.
A lot more standard sales. I think 20% of our market is short sales right now. About 70% is standard sales.
Yep.
So it's great. It's amazing.
Let's talk about, I have a house for sale and I want to sell it. How do you get the most out of what you're selling? I read one thing one time, a long time ago, that if you're going to sell something, sell it in pretty good condition.
Yes.
Tell us about some tips that you give sellers.
That's absolutely true. You need to have and make sure that your home is freshly painted and, you know, the carpet is nice and things are put away. That, more than anything, I can't tell you how often I walk into a home and say, you know, make sure the laundry's put away, even if you have to throw it in the closet for a while. You know, just make sure the house is picked up. That, more than having a clean house, is better these days.
You know, and people may take insult because it's their stuff you're asking to put away. But you know, that little trinket, the cabinet full of trinkets might not be attractive, and you want people to feel like they can move into that house.
Right, and they want to be able to picture themselves there. So a lot of times I tell families to remove their pictures of their family, not having so many pictures of them, so that the other family coming in can visualize themselves there.
Yeah. What are some of the biggest challenges that people are running into in escrows that you really need to look after?
I would say the appraisal contingency, I think, is more an issue these days, because what's happening is people are removing that appraisal contingency up front, but you still have 17 days typically to remove all your other contingencies. So people are still canceling, you know, because of the appraisal, but it's not really because of that. They just give some other excuse because they're still protected. So we're seeing people back out when the appraisal does come in lower. even though they said up front that it wasn't an issue.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times leaving that in, but maybe do 7 days or something reasonable. Get the appraiser out there right away.
I'm doing 10 days across the board,
Yeah.
just anything. I don't care if you remove the appraisal. You're going to cancel, you're going to cancel. I want to know within the first 10 days.
Yeah, absolutely. If you got a deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff.
I
Well,
could listen to you two talk all day. This is so interesting.
yeah, I love the industry that I'm sure you love, and there's for once we're finally climbing out of challenging times, and rates are still low.
Exactly.
So it's the best time in my generation to buy a home.
Exactly.
Well, one more thing I love though is that you also handle leasing and rentals too.
Yes.
So she's got a lot of.
If we can't sell your home or you don't want to sell your home and you see the value of maybe refinancing first and then going out and purchasing another home, I mean, who wouldn't want to have 2 homes,
Yep.
you know?
Refinance, get a little bit of cash out to buy your next house, stay in that house for
Exactly.
6 months because you normally need
Exactly.
to. But that is a great investment for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Those that want to reach out to you, how can they reach you tomorrow?
They can reach us at 855-HOUSE-05, or our website is teamhouserealestate.com, and the rental website is allvalleyleasing.com.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you
It's good to
so
see
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Tamar House from Troop Real Estate. We're going to jump to a quick break and we'll be right back.